Welcome back to Conversations with Chris
and Crystal.
And today we wanted to talk about rejecting yourself and how, you need to accept yourself for who you are.
And who God made you to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think you were talking about it because of the kids that you teach.
Yeah, because, a sixth grader came up to me recently and said, "Oh, I'm so excited. I'm officially in transition." And I was thinking, is this really what you want? I mean, I'm not here to talk people into or out of doing things, but I did say, please promise me that you won't do anything physically until you're an adult.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, my mom won't let me till I'm 20 anyway, but 21 would be better.
Yeah, 25 would be even better.
Or not at all.
Yeah, or not at all. Yeah, that's kind of the direction that we're taking.
Because it seems like it's become a fad.
It is a fad, yeah. And we were talking about that. We were talking about fads. Our older adult children, when they were in high school, we had my husband's daughter decided it would be fun, along with 6 or 7 of her friends, to get pregnant all at the same time. How fun could that be? And they did. They all got pregnant at the same time. And I remember when the baby was 2, and they had a birthday party, and they had all these gals came together for this birthday party. And I asked one of the young gals, her mother was there as well. I said, "So how has this been to have these children?" She said, because they go and party with the babies. They take the babies to parties with them. And she said it was okay until he started walking. And then you have to chase them. You have to, be paying attention. You have to be cognizant of what's going on. And she said, so she had given the rights, to him, custody to her mother. It's the same kind of thing. It's a fad. It's,
And you can't, like a baby or a pet, it's not like a doll that you can sit on a shelf and it's going to sit there. They have minds of their own.
Yes, they do. So they definitely do. And
it's a big commitment to do that.
And they were all 16 at the time that they did this. They had babies at 16. And but it was supposed to be fun, apparently. And I'm confused. I mean, my brothers were born when I was 11, and that didn't take me long to get unconfused. It took about a week to realize I never wanted to do this again. But a fad, something that kids think is fun.
Well, and another thing is, at this particular age group, 6th grade through 8th grade, they're going through a lot of changes as it is.
Yes.
And some kids have that gender dysphoria where they don't feel like, so for instance, what we call tomboys, they think, oh, well, then I should be a boy, not that I just enjoy things that boys enjoy.
Yes.
And so that is totally the wrong age to be making decisions about cutting parts of your body.
Yeah, or changing that. Yeah, I totally get that.
And there are some parents out there too who are sick in the head that there is this little boy, 4 years old. His mother is training him to become a girl. She dresses him in dresses, and she reads books to him about like David's new dress or something like that. And it is just
trying to convince them that that's the direction that they want to go. Now, and I worked with a gentleman who is a psychologist who I noticed that people were coming to him who were gay or lesbian, and I said, well, this was back when it was nature or nurture. It wasn't nature. What was it? It was nature, not nurture. That's what they were claiming. So I thought, okay, that must be, they're born this way. And I said, well, why are you talking to these people? What can you possibly do? And he said, oh, not a problem. He said, it's a very strong mother and a very weak, if non-existent father. And the people that I know that are gay came right from that. and not only, the other siblings, not everybody became gay, but some people dealt with extreme anger and volatility. And there were lots of dynamics because of that parent dynamic. You always wonder when you go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, they always go, well, what's your relationship with your mother? What's your relationship with your father? And you think, who cares? But apparently it's a big deal.
Yeah.
There's that lack, there's that piece that's missing for you, and you try to fill it with whatever this is, whatever you think it should be, and that's sad.
I was taking a class recently too online, and they were talking about what is wrong with our country. Why are things the way they are? And they said, and yeah, I'm going to point the finger. Democrats are.
What was that?
Well, Obama specifically. If you go back and look at his campaigns, like he had these different things going on. They're trying to get people to remain adolescents longer. Rather than in the 50s, people, they graduated high school, they may or may not have gone to college, but they had a job that they had, and they got married, and they got a house, and they had children. Well, today it's very difficult to buy a house anymore because the prices are so high. And so people are staying with their parents longer, or they're in apartments, and they're just not settling down.
Right.
As
and they're having children later if they can at all.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, so there's a lot of things that,
Yeah, that was the other major thing that hit me, were the women who took drugs to have babies.
Oh, yeah.
That was amazing. I of course, I didn't have any, and found out later I couldn't have, but I couldn't, they say, oh, I took this drug to have this one, and I took this drug to have that baby, and I'm like, and one of the gals said to me, well, you would deny somebody a family, and I said, maybe not me. I said, but God might.
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
Maybe they shouldn't have had children.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason these things happen, and the other fault lies with waiting too long. There's a certain period that women can do this thing.
Well, even if, say you're 40 and you decide, I want to have kids now. Well, not only the fact that it's hard on your body to have a child.
Yes.
You're older and you're more tired and you're more cranky. And so having a child who's going to test you is going to really
test you. It's going to test you in a big way. Yeah, it's really challenging, and unless they can get them nannies or something like that, which is a total waste of time. I mean, if you're getting a nanny, then why are you even having a kid?
Yeah, because you're not raising them.
You're not raising them. Why do you need them? You don't need them unless it's something that you nurture and you connect with.
And that's another thing we were talking about earlier too, the whole abortion thing, where people are, oh, it's my body, my choice. Well, when we were younger, and we decided we didn't want to have kids or whatever, why couldn't we get, and I'll use the word that they use in the veterinary circles, spayed. Yeah. Why couldn't I get spayed at 27 or 30?
They wouldn't
take it. No, they
won't
do it. Oh, no doctor will ever do that at your age.
Yeah, so we don't even have that choice either.
So it's not our body, our choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other thing that I don't know if I felt like we've talked about this before, that they go, oh, well, have the baby and give it up for adoption. Well, you can't. The women, the prostitutes that are getting pregnant and then having an abortion is because, heaven forbid, they would screw up their body.
Yeah, and it is hard on your body.
It
to
is
carry
very
a child
hard, very hard on your body, and everybody is different. And that becomes an issue. And so,
Plus, I've always said, why would you carry a baby for 9 months and go through all that pain and struggle just to give it up?
Yeah, that's a tough one. And there are a lot of women that get connected to the big child at that point because of all the hormones and everything that is going on. And so, I just don't see it. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I wish they wouldn't do this because these murders are on our country. That blood is on our country, and it is not. It's not a plus. It's a very negative thing. We have that blood on our country, and then the other part is, I wonder. I'm assuming, we never hear about other countries with issues with abortions. Yeah. So, but I would think China, because they're limited on the number of children they can have, I would assume they would. But you were saying something about that.
Oh, yeah, back before abortion became the in thing to do. Women in China would have the baby, and if it was a girl, then they would drown the baby or suffocate it or something because everybody wanted a boy.
Yeah.
Well, now that they've all had these boys, there's no women for the boys to marry, so they're like, what are we going to do? So,
yeah, bummer. Hey, well, it's like that movie in It's a Wonderful Life, and she says, the boys are upstairs being raucous, and she says, that's why all children should be girls. And she says, and then the mother goes, but if they were all girls, oh, forget it.
Which brings us to our next point. So if everybody's going to be gay or change their sex, and become women become men and men become women, well, obviously they won't be able to have children. So are we trying to kill off the human race, or what is going on?
Certainly heading in the right direction for that. And, even when these, two men together decide that they're going to have somebody have a baby for them so that they can have a child, you're still kind of defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
It just doesn't go together. And the other thing is, as pushy as the LGBTQ XYZ, whatever it is.
They can't even make up their mind how many initials to put in there.
I know. I just wonder, in that community, what makes them different, or do they want to be different, or do they just want to be thought of as regular? Because should we all just become gay, and then where would we be?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Nobody
would have children.
Nobody would have children.
And I think it is a lot of attention-seeking behavior because they want to be, I'm the first.
That makes sense.
First LG blah 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 to do this.
Yeah.
I'm the first transsexual to do that.
Yeah. It's getting old fast. And I don't understand. I mean, well, with me, accolades are not important. That's just something I've never been. They want to give you awards for something just so that they can keep you doing it. That's what I think. It's like, we're going to award you so that you'll keep pushing and doing this or doing that. And I got awards for debate, and I was terrible at debate, and it was like, no way.
I used to want an award. I wanted one really bad, and then but as I got older, I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, they don't care. They collect us. There they are, and it's like, okay, great. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, like when you look at acting and you get the Emmys and all of that kind of stuff, you don't even really need a statue. You just need that off your name. They almost should have initials off the edge of your name.
Your resume.
Yeah, that's all it is. That it's they
the
won
Emmy
that
award winning blah blah blah.
Yeah, or the nominees. Now that's.
I was nominated for
Oscar nominated actor. It's like, really? Does that make them good, or sort of good, or not quite as good, or where does it? It's hilarious, actually.
I guess it makes them better than a non-Oscar nominated.
Oh, that's it. Absolutely.
But I mean, I don't think Marilyn Monroe was even nominated for anything.
I don't think so either. And she actually really worked at her acting career.
Yeah, she was really.
She really went and got help with that, and she did some drama.
Like
and
Niagara.
Oh, Niagara's good. And then the last one, The Misfits. That was good. She was very, very. I think she was very, very, very good, or she was heading, in that direction. She was heading in a dramatic direction other than just object.
And she died at 36. Who knows what she would have become if she'd lived to be 50.
I know it. It's true. It's true. But, look at some of these older actors, men who are still out there. I looked up Janice Page. I don't know if you ever knew Janice Page. Please Don't Eat the Daisies.
Oh,
remember the movie? Okay,
mm-hmm.
So she was the actress in there with the backside that moved and all that stuff wiggled.
Okay.
She's 101. She's
wow.
still alive. Yeah.
Oh, I was amazed. Tom Skerritt's in his 90s. You remember him from Alien?
Yeah, I do remember him. Isn't he still doing film?
Yeah,
he's still doing
working.
film. Yeah, I see him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. And those guys get better looking as they get older. So the girls are kind of like, oh, no, maybe not. We're going to retire.
Well, the girls, to me, they should not be doing the facelifts and stuff because you can tell that they've had work done and then they have that plasticky look to them and it's just not attractive.
Yeah.
Just age gracefully.
Yes. So, we just really wanted to be a proponent to not rejecting yourself.
Because like you always like to say,
I'm sure I do. I'm not sure what it is. What do I always say?
wherever you go,
There you are.
So,
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
you're not going to escape from who you are.
You're
I don't
not.
care how you change your appearance
you're
or
not.
anything.
You're not.
And a doctor has even said you cannot change your sex. You can cut things off and add things to
True,
yourself,
true.
but it's not going to
Okay.
change what your gender is.
Yeah.
You're
It's
still
just
going to
not.
be,
Yeah, it's just not going to work. And one thing when we were talking about the dominant mother and the, if not
Absent
existent,
father.
absentee father. That was one of my friends who is gay said, Crystal, all I want is for a man to put his arm around me and say everything will be okay, because he never had it,
Yeah.
and that's what makes him think, oh, I should be gay.
So
Because I
that I'll
need to
have a
find this man, and that isn't necessarily true. You do have to go get help, and you do have to work with that need, that pain that you're feeling, and just running and doing that and saying, "Oh, well, I'm gay," is not going to solve it.
And I used to hang out with a lot of gay men too. Well, we
were in theater.
Yeah. But I would go to the gay bars with friends sometimes, and there was this one gay man who he was actually really attractive, and he danced with me and he says, "Oh, honey, if I wasn't gay, I would be all over you." And I was thinking, well, if you're thinking that way, then maybe you're not gay.
Even the thought, there's there's a pain, there's a gap, there is a hole, there is a space, and some people turn to being gay, and some people turn to cutting themselves or hurting themselves,
alcohol and
drugs. I mean, there's just any number of directions, and this just happens to be one of them.
Yeah,
That
and
people think they have to go instead of solving the problem.
Yeah.
Instead of facing
because
it.
they think that this is my problem, that I need to be gay, or this is my problem, I need to be a man when I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And that's not the problem.
And it isn't the problem. And so getting, at least seeking help in that and perspective before you make decisions would be a good thing.
And
because
especially not as a child.
No, never as a child. Oh my goodness. I can't even decide things in my old age, let alone when I was younger.
Well, and that woman who's the 4-year-old boy, the father is total wimp. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything about it. So there you go again with the dominant woman and the absent father.
Yes, or non-existent, So then when you have the children with their hormones flying and everything changing for them through 6th through, 8th grade for sure, even 9th too. Yeah, some of them are a little later. And so when you're dealing with that and their hormones are flowing, they're looking for acceptance, and they think maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Maybe if I do, I've actually had jobs where I actually wasn't accepted because I didn't go out drinking with everybody. Hello. Come on. Yeah. And so it's exactly the same way. When we were growing up, I was friends who, thought it'd be fun to go out drinking when we were young. I never did. It just wasn't my gig. But, and smoking, that was a big thing. Remember that when, people took up smoking?
That's another thing too, that I don't care if you're 18 or 20 years old, you still look like a 12-year-old with that cigarette in your mouth, and it looks ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Yeah, Jeff, my husband, works with a lot of people who smoke, and they're, he's like, why are you doing that? You're just hurting yourself. Well, no, I'm strong, and, everybody smoked in my family, and everybody smoked in his family, too. They're all gone. Mm-hmm. Jeff's the only one who's around, because he just never did. And
I know sometimes you want to hurt yourself because the pain that you're feeling, you want to manifest it some way, but
smoking, you want to cover it up. Yeah.
I would say don't smoke. Drink a soda.
I don't know from sodas. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, everything's changed.
Everything's changed. Everything has changed. So, so we just kind of wanted to rap about that and talk about it and chat our thoughts and feelings in our conversation. And, we would appreciate any comments that you might have or anything that you'd like to add to this discussion. Yeah, we love chatting about this kind of stuff and finding out how we feel about it.
Yeah.
But I think that's right. I think we're saying though that the kids are looking for acceptance in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Maybe if I join this group, or maybe if I join that group, or maybe if I do this, or maybe if I do that.
And by the way, we are not being judgmental about people who change their sex or are gay or anything, because
That's their
it's
choice.
we're just saying, it's a big step to be cutting
Think about it.
cutting things off of your body or adding things on and changing your hormonal structure and everything like that. It's a huge step, and even if you change your mind later and just want to go back, you will never be the same. So it is a big step.
It's a big step. I just read about a gal, 31 years old, had liposuction and died during the liposuction.
Oh my goodness!
And she's had a lot of work done, and she was a horse person. She had a farm for horses that had been rejected and left. Yeah, and she was a force of nature. I mean, she's just an incredible woman. And I thought, wow, how sad. And I know some other famous guy's mother died during facial surgery, and I also remember
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers also died during a procedure on her neck. And, I mean, it's that changing something for what?
Yeah, I mean, okay, I get it. Oh, I want to feel better about myself, so if I have this surgery, But surgery is a huge deal, and especially these days, doctors are not as good as they used to be.
They aren't. They are not.
I don't care what anybody says; they're not. And I hope to never go under the knife again for any reason, because when I was younger, I was like, oh, I just trust everybody. Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
It's your life.
It is your life. And it is really sad. It's just sad because surgeries. I mean, I think for every surgery you have, I think you lose about 10 years of your life.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It changes the structure of your chemistry. It changes everything because of all the chemicals they put into you to knock you out and to do all that stuff. So you are really taking your life into your own hands every time. Not that people can't have emergency surgeries. I get it. Yeah. I'm convinced that Western medicine is great. If you break. If you break, they can fix it. For the most part, they can fix it. But if you're not broken and you're trying to do better, you're trying to find out what vitamins to take, they're lost. They're completely lost with that.
Well, I just watched something recently about castor oil.
I keep seeing it, but I haven't bothered to read it.
Well, they say, and so many comments on this YouTube video said I put it on my eyelids every night for 3 days, and it dissolved my floaters in my eyes.
Oh,
and
wow.
It supposedly will dissolve cataracts. This other guy said, oh yeah, I just do it for 3 days once a year, and it dissolves my cataracts, and my eye doctor hates me because of it, jokingly. Yeah. He says, actually, she's really a good person and whatnot.
Right. Well, I have heard that too. I've heard that. I've seen the things on YouTube that say, never go to the eye doctor again. Oh. I don't know what it's about. It might be castor oil.
Yeah, some of that I don't know, but castor oil, it can't be your normal castor oil that you see in the store. It has to be hexane-free, organic, cold-pressed.
That's right.
Castor oil.
Yeah.
And I just ordered some. I'm going to try it, and we'll see what happens.
Okay,
but
yeah.
It also helps your eyelashes and your eyebrows to grow, and even the hair on your head, they say. Right. So my friend Laura's going to use it on her head because she's got thinning hair.
Yeah.
Thyroid issues,
well, we will be looking into that, and we will get back to you. I'm gonna get some too.
But anyway, we got off the chase rabbit again.
I know. This is us. We should film anything that we talk about because it goes into 15 different directions. So,
but the point we're trying to make is, please accept yourself for who you are. I mean, we've all been there. We've all had dissatisfaction with ourselves. But you'll see as you get older that, you're fine the way you are. Who cares what other people think? And that's one of the beauties of getting older is you don't care what people think.
I don't. You don't. I don't care what anybody thinks. They're stuck with me. It's just the way it is. I'm on this earth for a reason, and there we go. And I would say, look at yourself in a mirror and say affirmations that I love myself. I love you.
Yes.
I love you, and you keep telling yourself that.
And God loves you.
Yeah, and it'll turn around. It's amazing how it turns around, how it changes your life to affirm yourself that way.
Yes.
So, once again, take care of yourself because nobody else will. Bye for now.